Redemption is one of the most powerful psychological and spiritual experiences in human life. At its core, redemption represents the process of transformation, where individuals move from guilt, shame, or destructive behaviors toward healing, forgiveness, and personal growth. Psychology defines redemption as a narrative or cognitive framework through which people reinterpret their painful past in a way that gives meaning and fosters hope for the future. This process is not only about repairing mistakes, but also about redefining one's identity, regaining self-worth, and striving for moral or spiritual renewal. From a psychological perspective, redemption is deeply tied to the concept of narrative identity. According to narrative psychology, human beings make sense of their lives through stories. A person who views their past as filled with failure and despair may feel trapped by shame. But when the story is reframed as a journey of struggle leading to growth, it creates a redemptive narrative. Research by psychologist Dan McAdams highlights the importance of redemption sequences, where negative experiences transform into positive outcomes, fostering resilience, empathy, and purpose. The psychology of redemption also intersects with theories of cognitive dissonance. When individuals recognize a gap between their actions and their moral standards, they often feel inner conflict. This discomfort can serve as a catalyst for change. Seeking redemption becomes a way to reduce dissonance by realigning behavior with values. For example, someone who has betrayed trust may experience guilt, but through acts of honesty, repair, and accountability, they restore inner balance. This psychological process not only eases internal conflict, but also rebuilds social bonds. In the field of clinical psychology, redemption plays a crucial role in forgiveness therapy and recovery models, such as 12-step programs. These frameworks emphasize acknowledgement of wrongdoings, seeking forgiveness, making amends, and embracing a higher purpose. Research shows that forgiveness, both seeking it from others and granting it to oneself, can reduce symptoms of depression, anxiety, and even physical stress. Redemption, therefore, is not only an emotional or spiritual journey, but also a therapeutic one that impacts mental and physical health. Cultural and religious traditions have long emphasized the power of redemption. In Christianity, redemption is tied to salvation and forgiveness through divine grace. In Islam, redemption is closely linked with repentance, tawbah, and the belief that sincere regret, paired with change, leads to divine mercy. In secular psychology, redemption is understood as self-directed transformation, where individuals create meaning and growth through reflection, accountability, and positive action. Across these frameworks, redemption highlights the universal human need for forgiveness, belonging, and the chance to begin again. At a neurological level, redemption is connected to reward systems in the brain. Acts of forgiveness and altruism activate neural pathways linked to pleasure and motivation, particularly in the prefrontal cortex and limbic system. This means that seeking and granting redemption can produce measurable psychological and physiological benefits, such as lowered stress hormones and increased emotional regulation. In essence, redemption reshapes not only one's story, but also one's brain chemistry. Importantly, the psychology of redemption underscores the role of community. Humans are social beings, and redemption often requires acknowledgement and validation from others. Restorative justice models, for example, allow offenders to take responsibility, express remorse, and rebuild trust within a community setting. This shared process strengthens empathy, reduces recidivism, and provides a pathway for both victims and offenders to heal. Redemption, then, is not just a personal transformation, but a relational one. Yet redemption is not automatic. It requires self-awareness, humility, and sustained effort. Empty apologies or superficial changes do not lead to true redemption. Instead, it demands acknowledgement of harm, consistent action toward repair, and a reorientation of values. True redemption is marked by authenticity, when others can see evidence of transformation through changed behavior over time. In a world often dominated by cancel culture and quick judgments, the psychology of redemption reminds us of the human capacity for change. Everyone makes mistakes, but through accountability, forgiveness, and growth, people can reclaim dignity and meaning. Redemption teaches that no one is defined solely by their worst actions. Instead, what defines a person is the courage to confront the past, embrace responsibility, and walk toward a better future. Ultimately, redemption is the intersection of psychology, morality, and hope. It is about rewriting the narrative of one's life in a way that turns suffering into wisdom and mistakes into stepping stones for growth. The science of redemption shows us that healing is possible, change is real, and even in the darkest chapters of life, the possibility of renewal remains.